Good day, everyone. It is exactly 7 p.m. Nigerian time. I want to welcome each and every one of us to this webinar titled Project Management and Artificial Intelligence. It promises to be an exciting time. I want us to just create time and be patient enough for so that the facilitator will be able to deliver the seminar, the webinar, and thereafter we will have the opportunity of asking questions through the chat box. You can ask your questions through the chat box, through the comment section. That is the way through which you can communicate to the facilitator. So, project management and artificial intelligence. My work today is to lay foundation basics, talk generally about project management, and try to link project management to artificial intelligence. We want to try to see where they correlate, what are the things that artificial intelligence is able to offer us. All right. I could remember some couple of years ago, precisely about 20 years ago, I was doing my first internship. I'm a civil engineer by name. Fatile, Ayodele is the name. And I happened to work with an architect, and he's an old school architect, and he used to tell us that he doesn't need a computer to draw. That, you know, when we're in school, they teach us how to draw using drawing board and stuff like that. They said computer is not important, it's not necessary, that you can draw effortlessly with your hand. And that's what he used to do. He's used to it. It's a stereotype, and that attitude is not going to help in this 21st century. And that is why the issue of artificial intelligence cannot be overemphasized. The truth is, it has come to stay. It's going to wipe a lot of people off their job. What is it for us? What do we need to do? We need to learn, and we need to leverage on what artificial intelligence can offer us. It can make our work seamless in so many ways, irrespective of the field you find yourself. Irrespective of the field you find yourself, artificial intelligence is going to make our work to be very seamless. All right, so what you need to do is to sit back and enjoy this training. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please, I beg you, just click the notification button, because what we are trying to do today is just to lay the foundation. There are so many things that we need to learn. We cannot learn it at a go here, but it's going to be a continuous exercise. We're going to be having more of this training. So in terms of an overview of what we want to learn today, in terms of an overview of what we want to learn today, we're going to look at what a project is. Going to try and establish some basics, some facts about project management. Then we move on to project management skills, project management knowledge areas, tools and techniques. Then we ask ourselves the questions: why do projects fail? We have a lot of projects around, and the truth is a lot of them are not doing well. If you want to compare your project with your objectives, a lot of projects out there, when you compare with the objectives at the beginning and at the end, you can see a lot of projects, they derail along the line. So we will try to look at the reason why projects fail, and then we will want to see what we can do to ensure that in any project that we find ourselves, we try as much as possible to avoid failure. All right, so then will we move to the business of the day? What is artificial intelligence? We look at applications of artificial intelligence in different sectors. We try to look at the origin. When did this start? We will look at artificial intelligence in the built environment. We will look at artificial intelligence and project management. We will look at softwares that are already using artificial intelligence. Then the last part of the training is the practical use of artificial intelligence as a project manager. Wherever discipline you are an engineer, you are an architect, you are a business person, it does not really matter. In as much you do a lot of activities every day. What artificial intelligence does is that it helps you to be able to get these jobs faster, all right, with the assistance of an intelligence, as it were, that is artificial. So we want to start right away. What is project management? Project management is the practice of using knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to complement a series of tasks to deliver value and to achieve a desired outcome. This definition is according to PMI. PMI means Project Management Institute. This definition is according to Project Management Institute. It is a body that is responsible for regulating and for giving guidance on how project managers can manage their project to achieve desired outcome and to deliver value. Project PMI is based in US. They do an exam certification called PMP, Project Management Professional. If you are interested in that, in the training, maybe we look at what are the things that you can do to get certified as a project manager. So, definition of project management is the practice of using knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques. All right, now you can see that I make sure that tool is embodied. That tool is our focus today. There are tons and tons of tools. A lot of tools are there as a project manager that can make your work easier. And that is why I've taken this challenge upon myself. I am going to be delving into these tools, and I'm going to be, from time to time, bringing some of these tools to our knowledge on this channel. All you just need to do, just ensure that you are subscribed and you click the notification channel so that you are able to have access to these tools free of charge. We are going to be looking at the tools. There are a lot of tools that are available for us. What is project management? Project management entails preparation of a business case to justify an investment. You need to estimate resources and times. You need to develop and implement a project management plan. You need to lead. You need to motivate the project team. You need to manage risks. You need to manage issues and changes on the project. You itemize your changes before the beginning of the project, and when you are implementing, the things that happen that are serve and risks, you treat them as issues. And during that time, with your risk management plan, you are able to use your mitigation plan to handle those issues. And also, you attend to changes. Hardly will you see any project that when you start it, you finish it the way it has been planned. Most times, a lot of changes they take place during the course of the project. It is your responsibility as a project manager to know how to undo changes. When you want to undo changes, the first thing you do is that you analyze the changes and you analyze the impact of the changes on your cost, on your duration, on your timeline, on your schedule before you make a presentation to the change management board if you have that on your progress, on your projects. And it is expected also that you monitor your project as you execute it, and you close your project in a controlled fashion when appropriate. There's a way, there's a formal way that projects are meant to be closed. When you want to close a project, you are supposed to make sure that all vendors have been paid. Project closure as a report has been done, or the lessons learned on that project has been properly documented for future use, and at the same time you disband the team. So project management is a wide field. There are a lot of skills that is required before you are able to manage the project the way it's supposed to be managed, to avoid failure and pitfalls during the course of the project. Okay, what is a project? All right, here, a project is a temporary endeavor that produces a unique product, a service, or a result. So the first thing we need to understand is that a project is a temporary endeavor. It is a temporary endeavor. It's not an something that is not going to end. It's something that has a start time, and at the same time it's supposed to have an end date. All right, and the idea is to produce a unique product, a unique service, or a result. When we talk about something temporary, it means it's not a routine. It's not an operational thing. All right, and then we do a lot of projects every day. You want to plan that wedding, you want to construct, you want to have a building, you want to do that marriage, you want to do a naming ceremony, you want to do an election, you want to launch a product. There's so many things that we do. Even as it were, our life is a project, and we need to understand the way we need to manage. There's a day we were born to this earth, and there's a day we are going to leave. That is the start and the end date for the project of our life. So what do we do in between? How do we manage our life? How do we plan the things that we want to do? How do we carry out the processes, the things we want to achieve? How do we monitor? How do we control our life? So a project is a temporary endeavor, and the purpose is to do what? To produce a unique product. There are no products that are the same, as it were. Even if you are constructing a building, the condition of the soil will make that project to be unique. Even if it's a prototype building that you are going to have. All right, what is it? If it's a service, as it were, you want to deliver a consultancy service for a client, it can be termed as a project. Or you want to do a result, you want to produce a result, you want to carry out an experiment, you want to carry out a research work, and at the end of the day, what do you want? You want a unique result. So that is what is a project. And it is said that it is temporary in nature and has a definite beginning and an ending. Like I said, we carry out projects every day, but at times we don't document it. All right, so but there's a laid down way how projects are meant to be handled. According to project management book of knowledge, there are a lot of methodologies through which we can manage projects. There is the traditional method of managing projects, otherwise called a predictive way of managing projects. And this approach, this methodology, you define your scope. At the end, you want to construct a building, for instance, you're not going to have much surprises. You can use the predictive and traditional way of handling projects. All right, but there are some types of projects. For instance, projects that we have, especially in the IT industry, you use another methodology that you can term as an agile methodology, because you are not too sure of how the project is going to end. The agile projects, they are subject to a lot of changes. That's why they want to churn out softwares and apps. You see them asking you to update, sending update features for you to update, because it's an iterative process. And as they begin to add a lot of features, they iterate and they get feedback, and they update the project to make it a better one. So what we're going to be looking at briefly is this traditional method of project management. And one thing that is very important is the value for projects. Value for projects. In this part of the world, we do a lot of projects, and we don't we do projects without really knowing what is the justification for those projects. What is the justification for project? Any project you are going to embark on must bring value to the table. It must bring value to the table. There should be something that we want to achieve. There should be something that we want to achieve. At the end of the project, what value is it going to bring? Why should we undertake this project? These are the questions that is meant to be asked. And it's meant to be asked objectively. It's meant to be asked objectively. A lot of projects we do, but we do not handle those projects objectively. You should not handle those. We do not handle those projects objectively. Just a minute. I need to answer a question here from the chatbot. All right. So usually projects are done to you want to make more money. Because of brand reputation, you want to do projects for customer service. You want to have a new product. You want to change the product, or you want to change the service. All right. So those are some of the reasons. But the bottom line is that you need to. It should create value. It should what? Create value. Do not undertake a project with the intention of creating value. It is very key, and it is very, very important. As a project manager, you need to be versed in some knowledge areas. You need to be versed in some skills set, and then also you need to be versed in some technical knowledge, technical requirements for you to be able to manage projects successfully. Talking about the technical, skills, you need to be able to exemplify leadership. You need to be able to influence people to achieve set objectives. You need to be a good leader for you to be a good project manager. 80% of the work of a project manager is communication. You need to communicate. The importance of communication cannot be overemphasized. You need to communicate with your team members. You need to communicate with your stakeholders. You need to communicate with the customers. At times you need to liaise with the government. All right. If you don't manage your stakeholders very well, some can be very naughty, and they have the tendency of they have the power, as it were, to affect your project either negatively or positively. You need to categorize them. There's what we call stakeholder matrix. You need to manage them based on their sphere of influence, based on their interest, and based on their power. All right, so some of the skills that are required of a project manager. Then negotiation is very important. The negotiation, how to negotiate, is a skill that you need to learn. Negotiation is a skill that you need to learn. You need to know how to get vendors. You need to know how to do cost comparison. You need to know how to negotiate. You need to know how to get the correct price. All right. And another thing, another skill that you need to develop is problem solving. Basically, your work as a project manager is to remove obstacles, to remove problems, to ensure that your team members have an enabling environment to get the work done. Your team members must have enabling environment to get the work done. All right. Then another thing that is very important is the fact some people are asking questions. Let me see whether I can pause a little bit to see what most did PM to get certificate to boost your CV. Okay, so I'm going to attend to some of these questions at the end. Let me just move forward so that we can just a minute. I need to be sure that we are getting some of this feed. All right, so we will look at some of these questions when we attend to all the questions as we'll move on, right? Let me just do my thing here, then we will have time to look at the questions. Okay, so I was talking about the project management skills. I was on problem solving. Your job is to remove impediments. All right, is to remove impediments that we have as the project goes on. All right, then it is important that you also manage your time, because they say time is money, right? Time is money. When you are wasting time, you are wasting money, you are wasting resources. So you should be able to manage your time very well. And of course, decision making is very key. You need to make your decisions as at when due. And of course, they have to be qualitative decisions, and they have to be based on facts and figures. So they don't have to be sentimental. Decisions has to be objective, and that is why it is very important that you have correct information at your disposal, so that you can make good decisions. Then the soft skills. At this point, I also want to mention that the job of a project manager is encompassing. Most times, what we do, some of us practice, we are restricted to a limited side of project management. But the work, a project manager has a global picture of a project. It's responsible at times, even in some projects, depending on the company, it's responsible for resource management and allocation. It's responsible for quality. It's responsible for, we have a lot of things, the knowledge areas, we look at that. So now let me just concentrate on the skills, then we go to the knowledge areas. All right. So team building, you need to be able to motivate you need to be able to bind your team together. You need to be able to work as a team player, not as a lone ranger. All right. You should be able to work in a team. If you are a lone ranger, you work in isolation, then it will be very difficult for you to perform well as a project manager. Then you need to be able to motivate your people to work, and conflict will always arise. You should be able to resolve conflicts, so that you create an enabling environment for everybody to give their optimal best to and contribute their quota to the success of the project. And emotional intelligence, understanding yourself, understanding others, managing yourself and managing others, putting others, putting yourself in their shoes, and being able to address issues objectively. All right, not flaring, or being able to address issues objectively. You don't react anyhow. All right, and you should be able to adapt to different situations, because we live in a world where everything is so dynamic, everything is so unstable, everything changes from now and then. All right, so talking about the knowledge areas based on project management, book of knowledge, 6th edition, managing project in the traditional way, there are some key knowledge areas that are expected of us to be knowledgeable about, for us to be able to manage project successfully. Talking about integration management. What is integration management? When we talk about project management, we have 5 phases. The 5 phases are the initiation stage, you have the planning stage, you have the implementation stage, you have the monitoring and control stage, and you have the closing out. So the work of a project manager is to be able to integrate and coordinate at the same time the piecemeals in all these stages. There are a lot of things that are involved. All right, you need to be able to manage scope of the work. You need to be able to manage the scope of the work. You need to be able to plan the scope. Here you need to collect requirements. A lot of projects fails because the requirements for the project are not properly gathered and organized at the beginning. When you plan your scope management, what do? You collect requirements, you define the scope, you create what we call work breakdown schedule. This is dividing your job into smaller manageable chunks. All right, that is the simple definition of a WPS, which is a work breakdown structure. Then when you are done, you plan your schedule. Then schedule is another thing. All right, this is where you define your activities. What are the things that we want to do in this project? You sequence your activities. How chronologically will they be organized? And you estimate the resources that is required. You estimate activity durations. Then after that, you develop that schedule. Then you plan your cost. Here you estimate your cost. You determine your budget. You plan. Basically it's 2 things. You estimate cost and you determine your budget. Then you go to quality also. Quality management. You plan how do you want to do quality control, quality assurance. You get to do all this. You need to be versed as a project manager to be able to plan all these things. Then resource, like I said, you plan human resources requirements, project roles, responsibility, reporting, relationships, staff management plan. This is where it comes to play. Then communication management. How often do we want to communicate effectively and efficiently with stakeholders? How do we want to, and what's the frequency of having our meeting? When do we want to be having it? What will be the mode of communication? And a lot of things. What is the reporting line? What is the structure for our reports and stuff like that? And then risk management is also something that is very key and is important. You identify your risk. You perform qualitative risk analysis. This is prioritizing your risk by assessing and combining their probability of occurrence and impact. There's a metrics that you use that to prioritize the risk. Then you also perform quantitative risk analysis. This is analyzing numerically the effect of risks on projects. You give them some numbers, and when you are done with that, you plan what we call risk response. All right, all the risks that can happen in the course of that project, you itemize them. All right, then procurement is another thing. You need to know where to source for your material at the best price. All right, without compromising quality. All right, and also you need to be able to manage your stakeholders. You need to be able to manage your stakeholders. They can influence your project. They can influence your project. If you are not very careful, they can as well mess it up. So you need to manage them. Some you need to manage them closely. Some you need to give them information as at when due, and a lot of things that you need to do. Now, when it comes to conventional tools and techniques as a project manager, you should be able to use project management softwares, a lot of softwares, tons of them are available. Microsoft Projects, Primavera, Jira, Asana, Trello, and Monday.com, quite a lot of them like that. Then as a project manager, some of the tools you need is work breakdown structure. You need to be able to break your work into smaller manageable chunks. You need to be able to how to analyze the critical part for your project. The critical part is the shortest distance through which your project must be done. Anything after that, it will elongate the course of your project in terms of duration, right? You need to be able to analyze critical parts. You need to be able to understand how to do add value and management. Add value management basically is a principle that talks about with the resources that have been expended in a project, what have we gained in terms of value based on the money that has been planned, money that has been allotted, the time that has been allocated to tasks, and the time that we have spent there. What value have we gotten for the money that has been expended on a project? What this does is the fact that it helps you to be able to analyze where your project is as you go on, and if there is need to do to make adjustments so that you bring your project back on track. You quickly do that during the course of the project to avoid things like budget overruns, to avoid things like you spending more time that is required. Then risk analysis and management tools. A lot of tools are out there for you to analyze your risk. There's a risk management plan matrix that you can use to analyze your project. Then decision trees is meant for making decisions. We have a lot of communication tools and channels there. Then quality management tools like Sigma, Pareto principle, and stuff like that. As a project manager, you need to be vast in the use of these tools and skills to be able to do a proper analysis that will ensure that you take good decision for the benefit of your projects. Why do projects fail? Why do projects fail? We have a lot of projects around, and if you look at the percentage of projects that are failing, you will be amazed. A lot of projects are not doing well. A lot of projects are failing. It's just because that you are not analyzing those projects. That is why you do not know that they are failing. When your project is not able to meet up with the time, and you are spending more that you are supposed to spend, your project is already turning to the path of failure. So I itemized here some of the things that makes a project to fail. Inadequate planning. A project lacking a detailed project plan, leading to confusion and scope creep. You understand? So when you don't plan very well, it is said that a minute spent in evaluation, planning save tons of time in execution. All right. When you plan very well, planning takes a lot of time. You have to be detailed enough. You need to have a mental picture of what the project is going to look at the end of the project, and you itemize each step. All right. You look at the risks that might likely come, and you have mitigation plans, so that you will be able to avoid issues that can derail your project. And I have a metric here. It is very important that you put metrics to our project. When we don't put metrics to what is the metric for success? What is the metrics for failure? What is in terms of numbers? When you are taking a decision, you will take an informed decision when you put numbers. This metric for project planning says project timeline deviation exceeding 20% of the plan schedule. If our project exceeds 20%, it means it's going to failure. You can set that target for yourself. All right, poor communication. I talked about the fact that a project manager's job is communication. Communicate. Team members not being informed of changes causing misunderstanding. Communication breakdown can result in 30% increase in error rates. Undefined scope. At times you do projects, and along the way, things that were not agreed with clients, they just come in and they say, we thought this is included. And it can change and can mess up your project. A project with ambiguous or constantly changing scope is doomed for failure, making it hard to deliver on expectations. Scope changes occurring more than twice during project life cycle. You can deliver that. You can term that as your success factor at the beginning of a project. Lack of stakeholder engagement. If key stakeholders, if they are not involved or consulted, it can lead to dissatisfaction. All right. Another metric is stakeholder satisfaction rating consistently below 70%. When you send for feedback and your stakeholders give you a feedback, a survey, and it's below 70%, you can use that as a success factor for stakeholder management. Insufficient resources. They want you to do so many things, and at the same time, the resources that is required to achieve set goals are not met. Then that project is going to fail. Inadequate budget or understaffed teams causing delays or compromised quality. At times project overrun exceeding 15% for a big project can be a lot, can really make your project to fail. Then ineffective risk assessment. When you have not identified all the risks that might possibly come up during the course of that project. Unrealistic timeline, we want to, and at times you set overly optimistic deadlines without considering potential challenges. Inadequate quality control. Resistance to change is another thing. And lack of project management skill is another thing also. And it is important that these metrics provide a quantitative assessment of various failure points, helping project managers identify and address issues before they escalate. All right, so that is where we are going to stop when it comes to project management. I've laid some foundation for us. If you are still interested in learning more about project management, we have a lot of videos on this YouTube channel that will talk about project management basics. You can check the playlist and check some of these videos. But it's important at this point, we are doing this thing for free. All we require from you is that if you are not subscribed, just ensure that you subscribe to the channel so that for free you can also have access to some of the videos that will be coming up. So AI and technology, what we want to do today is to tell us that we can leverage on artificial intelligence to make our work very seamless. We should be familiar with AI applications in project management. We should analyze data analytics for project insights. We should be aware of emerging technologies that are relevant to our field. With the full knowledge of the importance of artificial intelligence for project management, it is crucial to stay updated on AI tools and technologies that can enhance project efficiency and decision making. Then we need to now look at how we can integrate AI to leveraging on data analytics, machine learning algorithms, and automation to streamline processes and improve project outcomes. All right. So we now really want to go to the business of the day, and that is artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence refers to the development of computer systems or machines with human-like intelligence. So what does this mean? It means that there are now systems that can help us to think like human beings. They reason like human beings, which we are going to be demonstrating very shortly. Tasks that typically require human intelligence can be performed by AI systems. AI systems can reason, they can solve problems, they can learn, they can understand natural language, and they can perceive the environment. This is interesting. The global artificial intelligence market size was valued at 150 billion US dollars in 2023, and it is expected to go to a rate of 36.8% from 2023 to 2030. The revenue forecast for 2030 is projected to reach $1.3 trillion. The base year for estimation is 2022, and the historical data spans from 2023 to 2030. This information is from markets and markets. So there's so much, irrespective of your discipline, irrespective of your field, you can leverage on artificial intelligence and make your work very, very easy. So systems are now available that can do some of the things we do. It's going to save us tons of time. I do not know what field you are, but as I'm talking, I want you to begin to think about what you do every day that takes your time, that takes a lot of time from you. Tools now available that can reduce that time drastically. Okay? So AI systems includes, they can, basically what they do is they recognize patterns in data and make predictions and decisions based on that data. Machine learning techniques include supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. You know, if you have been hearing about artificial intelligence, you hear languages like some models are being trained. They have been trained. They learn through iteration, through You train, you experiment, you give feedback, and through that feedback reinforcement, they learn over time. Natural language processing systems, AI systems, are now able to understand a lot of languages. And then we have things like chatbots, we have things like language and translation, sentiment analysis, text summarization. AI systems can understand, they can interpret, and they can generate human language. Computer vision, they can process and understand visual information. They can they understand computer vision tasks include image and video recognition, facial recognition, and object detection. Robotics can navigate environments, interact with objects, and make autonomous decisions. Driven robots and a lot of stuff like that. Expert systems, right? AI can now emulate human expertise in specific domains, in medicine, diagnosis, in financial analysis, and in technical support. So when we talk about reinforcement learning, we talk about feedback from actions. It helps to improve decision-making processes in gaming, autonomous vehicles, and robotics. They learn through trial and error. Deep learning is another terminology used in artificial intelligence, the subject of a subset of machine learning. It employs artificial neural networks inspired by the human brain. Then we have autonomous systems, autonomous vehicles, drones, and stuff like that. Now we have AI as of today is applicable to a lot of industries. I mean a lot of industry, cut across business, finance, technology, medicine, and the likes. When it comes to business, things like business support, our chat boxes, data analysis, algorithms analyzing large data, sales and marketing, driven tools for personalized marketing and sales prediction. Finance is now used for fraud detection, algorithm trading, credit scoring in medicine, disease diagnosis, drug discovery, personalized medicine. A lot. It's not only limited to a selected industry. It's, as it were, applicable in a lot of industries. In sports, you use it to do performance analysis. You see all those players. By the time DSTV shone out data about players, the minutes, the kilometers, they are able to cover per minute, their dribbles and stuff like that. They are using artificial intelligence to get all those things done. In injury prevention, fan engagement, in entertainment, content recommendation, virtual assistant, game development, and stuff like that. Briefly, we just look at the origin of artificial intelligence. This term came about sometimes in 1950, 1960. That is the development of early programs, introduction of the term artificial intelligence. Then there was a slow break in 1980s to 1990s because of reduced funding. Then later in the 1990s and early 2000, there is resurgence of artificial intelligence with machine learning and data-driven approaches. In this period, some of these tech giants, Alibaba, Google, and stuff like that, they use these things, but it's very expensive and it's only meant for their in-house consumption. But starting from 2010, we've had significant advances in AI applications, breakthroughs in deep learning and neural networks, which has brought about till present rapid integration of AI into various industries. We have self-driving cars, natural language processing, and it's impacting our society in a lot of ways. Then we move gradually now to artificial intelligence in the built environment. For professionals that are in the built environment, artificial intelligence has a wide range of applications in the built industry environment, which includes construction, operation, maintenance of physical infrastructure, and buildings. Here are some of the key applications of AI in this field. When we come to architectural, when it comes to design and planning, we look at architectural designs. AI can assist architects in designing more energy efficient and aesthetically pleasing buildings by generating design options, optimizing layouts, and simulating natural lighting. In urban planning, AI can help city planners optimize land use, traffic flow, and infrastructure by analyzing data from various sources to make informed decisions. In in construction, of course, in project management, it can help us to improve project schedule in resource allocation, helping to reduce delays and cost overruns. In safety, AI can enhance construction site safety by monitoring worker behavior. That's interesting. And alerting in real time to potential safety hazards. It's also very applicable in quality control. AI can inspect construction materials and structures to detect defects or deviations from design specifications. In facility management, space optimization, asset management, predictive and analytics, AI is very handy in that. And of course, energy management. Energy nowadays is very, very expensive. So you need to optimize how you use energy. Is very, very key and is very, very important. We have building management system, BMS. AI can optimize your heating, your cooling, lighting systems in buildings, have a smart home. We have a lot of smart homes now. You just enter your house, your light comes up, it senses the load, your AC come on. Depending on the number of people that are there, your AC starts to regulate the temperature of the building based on what you have set it for. I have a video that I made on how to set up a smart home. You can check the channel if you are interested in that, how to set up a smart home. Then we have predictive maintenance. AI can predict equipment failure in HVAC systems and other building infrastructure. And in smart buildings, I talked about smart buildings, security, voice and gesture control, personalized environment, your lighting, your temperature, and based on your preference, real estate and property pricing and investment, tenancy engagement, building information, modeling, model a 3D, and everything that you have from the design process is incorporated in that model, and you are able to transfer it to the end users for the facility management guys to be able to manage. So building information system is a form of incorporation of artificial intelligence. All right, then artificial intelligence now and project management. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing project management in various practical ways, making project management more efficient and effective. And that is the key word: efficiency and effectiveness. Whatever we do, there is need for us to constantly examine what we do. There are always better ways of doing things, more efficient ways, more effective ways, more smarter ways, and that is what AI is going to do for us. I do not know what you do, but as I'm talking, be thinking about what you do that takes a lot of your time. In fact, you can put it on the chat box. Let me know what are the things you do, and ask me the question: how can I apply artificial intelligence to get this job done? Ask me on the chat menu, and I will try as much as possible to suggest what you can do to make your work more efficient, more effective, and smarter. Next week, I'm going to be releasing a video on some selected 7 AI tools that can save you tons of time and can make you a lot of money. If you are interested in that video, watch out for it next week. And subsequently also, I am going to be analyzing some of these tools for us to be able to use. All right. Okay, so the areas that AI is influencing, impacting project management are the following: project planning and scheduling. AI algorithms can optimize project schedules based on resource availability, constraints, and historical data, helping project managers create more realistic and efficient plans. All right, for us to be able to get a better result, there is need for constant optimization in terms of resource availability, constraints, and some of these things AI can help us to leverage, to plan, to schedule. I'm going to be showing us some of the softwares that can do that for us very shortly. It can also predict potential delays and suggest adjustments to mitigate risks. Then the second one is resource allocation. When you have you have a project with a lot of resources to be allocated, a limited resource that will be allocated to many projects, there is need for optimization based on team availability. AI tools can get this done for us seamlessly. All right, tools can also consider budget constraints and time frames for resource allocation. Risk management is something that is very, very important. AI can identify potential risk by analyzing historical project data and external factors. It can provide recommendations for risk mitigation, data analytics and reporting, project collaboration, and project communication and collaboration. Okay, so our project, we need to communicate. Basically, communication is very, very important. Communication is very, very important for our project. All right, so there is need for us to be able to communicate effectively. We should be able to communicate effectively. We can do that through a lot of chat boxes and virtual assistants. You need to be able to control your quality. You need to be able to identify defects, anomalies, and deviations from project specifications. AI can help us to automatically detect issues in project deliverables such as code design and documentation. Then project communication and okay, we continue on that. Then cost estimation and budget management is another area. Predictive maintenance is another area. Project documentation. At times, some of our projects, we do not index and archive our documents very easily, so that when you need to retrieve them, you are able to do that. At times, you go to some offices, that government offices, and you require information. They find it so difficult for you to retrieve this information. AI can help in doing that. All right, stakeholder management is another way AI comes in. It can assist in analyzing stakeholder feedback from various sources such as emails and social media to gauge sentiments and concerns. All right, automated alerts and notifications. Then we want to talk about now the softwares that are already they have AI integrated into them, and we can use them in project management. I itemized about 10 here. A lot of them, they are web-based solutions. A lot of them, you need to pay for them. But some, you can use them for free, even though with limited resources. It can process and analyze data, provide predictions, and automate routine tasks. A lot of them are available. I've tried monday.com. It's very good when it comes to customization and automating a lot of processes that you do from time to time. All right, so monday.com is something that you can use. This presentation is going to be available at the end of this training. In the description, you'll be able to download it. All right, you can come later to download this presentation so that you can have access to it as you want. So I'm not going to be wasting time with some of these tools, but they are very available. The pros, the cons, and the price is there. We have Trello, we have Asana. Asana is being used present. Google uses Asana to manage all their projects, and the pricing is there. All driven task recommendation and workflow automation, customizable project templates. All right, we have Rick, we have Smart Sheet, we have Liquid Planner, we have Clary Zen, we have Pro Workflow, we have Workfront, we have Scoro. All right, and the easiest softwares that we use nowadays, especially for some of us in the construction industry, is Microsoft Project. Another one used in the at times oil and gas industry is the Primavera, and their traditional project management softwares. If you are interested in learning softwares, we have tons. We have a lot of videos on this channel that you will get to learn about Microsoft Project. Now we want to go to the real thing today, and the practical use of artificial intelligence as a project manager using how chat boxes. If you are here and you are not using these chat boxes, you are missing a lot. Irrespective, like I said, of this discipline where you are, you need to be able to use these chat boxes to be able to make your work seamless. For some time now, I've been involved in video production. I've been involved in content creation. I'm using this tool, and it's making my life very, very easy, especially in terms of content creation. All right. Nowadays, you have AI tools that you can, when you have tons of projects. For instance, you have a contract. That contract is 1,000 pages, and it is expected that you are supposed to scan through. The time that it's going to take you to scan through a document of 1,000 pages is a lot. But we now have an AI tool that you can dump that document in that AI tool, and it's going to analyze that document for you. All you need to do is just to ask relevant questions. It's going to even analyze the salient points, risks that are involved, things that you need to note, clauses that are controversial. It's going to analyze it for you. And you can even be asking questions on, it will digest 1,000-page document, and it will make your life easy. There are AI tools now that you can use to reply mails. It will summarize, it will take your meetings. When you do a meeting on Zoom or on Teams, it will analyze it, it will summarize your meeting, it will write a minute of meeting for you. It can even go ahead, depending on how you automate it, to answer mails based on the resolutions of the meeting. It can even go ahead to write up a PowerPoint presentation based on the resolution of a meeting. And it's going to save you a lot of time. Let's concentrate first on a project manager before I move out too much. Project managers should know how to use ChatGPT. They should know how to use Google Bard. They should know how to use Microsoft Copilot or Bing's AI. There are a lot of, even as of this morning I heard that Apple is bringing out his own chat box, because there's a AI war that is going on presently. So the thing is going to get more interesting every day. All you need to do as a project manager or whatever we do is to leverage on these tools and make our work. This ChatGPT can do your program of work for you. I'm going to do that some minutes now. You can do your program of work. It can, in traditional project management, we have about 33 documents. That if you want to practice project management the ideal way, using best practice, in the course of a project, of course a big one, there are about 33 documents you are supposed to prepare. You are supposed to be updating your change log, your change log, your risk register, change a lot of documents like that you are supposed to a project management plan, and a lot of quality log and stuff like that. And at times your project shatter a lot of documents. At times when you do not know how to even the template, the checklist for all these things, ChatGPT and these models will get it done for you. If you don't know how to do a template, you need to design a document, you don't know how to do it, they will get it done for you. So let's look at what we can do with these chat boxes. Answering common questions. Chat boxes can provide quick responses to frequently asked questions such as project status updates, deadlines, and resource availability, reducing the burden of the project manager to address repetitive queries. Scheduling and reminders. They can schedule meetings, set reminders. Document retrieval. Project managers can use chatbots to search for and retrieve specific project documents. Then task assignment and updates. Time tracking, resource allocation, risk management, reporting and data analysis. Then team communication, feedback gathering. I've talked about this before. Quality control. These are these are the work of a project manager. These are routine things that project manager is supposed to be doing. I mentioned them earlier. Conflict resolution, resource request handling, onboarding and training. Benchmarking. What is benchmarking? Benchmarking is what? Comparing project metrics against benchmarks and industry standards. And this will allow project managers to assess performance more easily. Alright? So these chat boxes can significantly reduce the administrative workload of project managers and enable them to focus more strategic and value added activities. They also provide consistent and prompt support to team members, enhancing overall project efficiency and communication. All right. Now, moving into the workforce of the future requires project managers to be technically proficient to stay on top of their game. Now, there's what we call prompt engineering. For you to be able to interact with models like ChatGPT, models like Microsoft Copilot, and models like Google's Bard, you need to know how to ask them questions. And that's what we call prompt engineering. There is a way you tailor your question so that you get the best out of these chat boxes. Alright, so project managers have a wide range of opportunities to leverage ChatGPT and other generative AI tools to enable confident and more accurate project planning, risk identification, and mitigation, and uncover hidden areas that would not have been thought of without AI's assistance. This will have a direct bearing on project outcomes and lead to more thorough and detailed approaches. So we are going to be looking at, I'm going to be changing my screen now. Just give me some minutes. I need to change my screen. Just give me some minutes. Let me change my screen. Then just a minute. Okay, so if you can see my screen, this is ChatGPT. Is a tool that about a year ago, precisely November 2022, really started this AI war, and they have released a lot of models over the course of the past 1 year. The free version is ChatGPT 3.5 model. It is free, but it's limited. All right. Paid version, the next model is ChatGPT 4. You pay about $20 per month, and it's more advanced. ChatGPT is presently working on a new model, ChatGPT 5, that can take a multimodal input. All right. What does it mean? It can handle, this is a text-based chat box. It can handle text, it can handle video, it can analyze sound. It's as vast as that. All right. So this is the commonest out of all these tools, ChatGPT. All you just need to do, you need to download it on your phone, you need to download it on your system. Just go to ChatGPT. Ensure you just type just ChatGPT on your web browser, and you click openai.com, and here you are with the free version. Just register with your email address and you are there. This is the first one. The second one that I use is Google Bard. Google Bard. All right. Google Bard is another one that I use. It's still at the experimental, it's still a better product at the experimental stage, but it's doing very well. There are a lot of other ones that are coming. Microsoft has theirs. We call it Copilot, also Microsoft Pilot, or Bing AI. All right, a lot of them are available. I learned today, like Apple has even launched its own. All right, Apple has launched its own. The other time I talked about a tool that you can use to let me see. I talked about a tool that you can use to analyze your documents. This is DocuAx. In my next video, I'm going to be going in depth into what this tool can do for you. This tool, if you happen to handle a lot of documents, is a good one for you. So let's go back to the most commonest AI tool, and I've asked, all you just need to do is to ask some of these tools questions that are tailored to what you do. I don't know what you do every day. Just begin to think about the things that you do every day. So now look at this. I'm going for a meeting, a project meeting, and I say come up with questions to ask during a project startup meeting. We have a project we want to start, and though I've been doing something, I've been very busy on my phone. You have the app on your phone. What are the things that the questions that we need to ask? Come up with questions to ask during project startup meeting, and voila, you have some of these responses. Here are some of the questions you might consider asking during a project startup. The project scope, just a minute. So these are some minutes ago before this meeting, I've asked ChatGPT some questions, and let's see the response that ChatGPT gave me. So certainly here are some of the questions you might consider asking during a project startup meeting. All right, project scope. What is the overall goal and objective of this project? Can we clarify the boundaries and scope of this project? Project stakeholders, the project team, who will be part of the project team, timelines and milestones, resources, risk management, communication plan, quality assurance, decision making, lessons learned, and stuff like that. Then I ask the next question. I say, I need your assistance in designing a project risk assessment template. I even said for an election. For an election. That is outside the scope of what I'm doing. But of course, for the purpose of this, let's see what we have. Certainly, designing a project risk assessment template for an election involves identifying and analyzing potential risks that could impact the successful conduct of the election. Here is a template you can use as a starting point. Now, the question is, you need to be able to tailor these questions to suit what you are going to do. This you cannot get. The difference between this and ordinary search engine like Google search engine or Yahoo is that this cannot give you a tailored answer. When you ask Google question, Google can give you 1 million documents. And if you are not careful, you are going to be suffering from what I call information overload. But when you ask these chat boxes specific questions, they will give you specific answers based on what you are doing. Now, let's look at this template that he has given me. Project name, of course, you feed that. Assuming I have given the project name there, he will have put it for me. The date, the project team, then general information, election overview, election objective, risk identification, the category, risk event, likelihood, impact, risk owner, risk priority, risk mitigation strategy, contingency plan. A lot of plan when you want to do an election, all right? Risk monitoring, documentation and review, approval, and stuff like that. Now, I now said I need your assistance in designing a project risk assessment template for a construction project. Certainly, designing a project risk assessment template for a construction project involves identifying and analyzing potential risk that will impact the successful completion of the project. Here is a template you can use as a starting point. Okay, all right. I'm seeing some questions. Please, if you have questions, just ask. When I'm done with my presentation, I will take time to answer the questions. And please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please ensure you do. That is the least you can do for somebody that has put this together just for free. All right. So the risk as template, the template it has given you the template. Of course, it is expected that you review whatever you have here, but you need to at least it's going to give you a basis. Then you review it. All right. Now I asked ChatGPT the next question. Please provide a handoff and project conclusion checklists in a tabulated form. Now, certainly here is a tabulated form of a handoff. You want to close your project, you need a template, you need a checklist. This can give you this checklist easily. Alright, this checklist includes key tasks and considerations for wrapping up a project and ensuring a smooth handoff. Feel free to customize it based on the specific requirements of your project. Project documentation, review and finalize project documentation, ensure project is up to the status and comments, knowledge transfer. You know, when you finish project, it is important we document what we have learned, and we should be able to transfer it to others, hand over to stakeholders, team handoff, financial closure, client satisfaction, closure activities, plus implementation review, legal and compliance, finance startup. You can see. Then I asked ChatGPT the next question. Generate a project timeline with milestones, start dates and end dates, objective tasks and responsible parties for launching a pharmaceutical product from inception to completion. The duration of the please provide and suggest milestones, their start and end dates, objectives, tasks and responsible party for each milestone in a table format. You can see. I can even ask when do I want this project to start and when I want this project to end. It's going to give me everything if I ask the right questions. So let's see the answer. Then the start date is there, the end date is there, the objective, the task and the person responsible is going to give me this. You know, this, if you want to ordinarily do it on your own, takes you time, but this can get it done for you seamlessly. The project initiation, regulatory approval, research and development, clinical trials, manufacturing, quality control and stuff like that. Then I now said, can you please add the timeline? I gave him a 1 year duration and immediately he added the timeline to it. Alright? So whatever you do, I don't know what you do on a day-to-day basis. Please ask me what are the things you do and how do you think AI can help. I will try and answer that question. I will try and answer the question. Some people are already asking questions. Just keep the questions rolling. I will try and answer the questions. Alright? So I went to Bard. I also asked Bard some of these questions. And of course, I said I need your assistance in designing a project risk assessment for construction project in a tabulated form, and he gave me this. Then I also said generate the same question I asked ChatGPT. I asked him, and he generated that table for me. All right. So now I want to ask a question live, and let's see. And I'm going to give a lot of detail for this. So I'm presently about to start a project, which is a code room project. I'm now saying I want a project charter. A project charter is a document that you prepare at the beginning of a project. All right, and that gives justification for the project to commence. It gives authorization for the project to commence. So I now say prepare a project charter for a code room project for a duration of 12 months with a budget of $2 million, itemizing project scope, constraints, risks um, milestones, and what else? Risk, project scope, risk objective, and objective. All right, so you now need to please and that's in a bullet form with detailed explanation. You can see what the question I've asked now. So let's see whether ChatGPT will be able to design a project charter for me. So you can see what ChatGPT has been able to do for me. Let's see. So the budget is 2 million. The duration is 12 months. Like I said, the objective of the project under project scope is all the things that I need to do on that project is itemizing it. I need to procure and install new refrigeration units. I need to upgrade existing installation for improved energy efficiency, implement temperature monitoring and control systems, expand storage capacity by 30% to accommodate growing inventory. The constraints, budgetary constraints, I need to adhere to allocated budget. Time constraint, I need to complete the project within 12 months. Space limitation, work within the existing facility footprint, optimizing available space for the cold room expansion. Risk, technical risk, operational risk, logistical risk. Milestones, it has even broken it down for me. Design and initiation first 2 months, design and planning 2 months, procurement 5 to 6 months, installation and upgrading 7 to 10 months, testing and quality assurance 11th month, then project completion and handover 12th month. Objectives, enhance storage capacity, energy efficiency, reliability, and you can see the details of what I got within seconds. For me to brainstorm to get this done, if I have not done this project before, it's going to take me a lot of time. And that is why working smart comes in. This, in fact, if you want to launch a rocket to space, as it were, and you don't know how to do it, you will learn. Of course, some of this information here are not, as it were, 100% correct. You will still need, it can make mistakes. It's not a perfect system. I need to mention that. But at least you have a framework to get your work done. It has saved you a lot of time. You just need to add flesh to some of what you are doing. What has been given to you. I want to talk about some other type of questions that you can ask as a project manager that can help you in terms of risk analysis. You can say identify potential risks associated with your specific project details and suggest mitigation strategies. You understand? In terms of meeting and reports, you can say draft a project update email for stakeholders of this social project, highlighting key achievements, current challenges, and next steps. This helps provide an outline with which to structure the content. You understand? So there's so much that you can do. Like I said, all you just need to do, please think about what you are doing. What are you doing that is taking a lot of your time? You can save time. You can save money. If you are developing a company and you want to have online presence, gone are the days you need a website, you spend a lot of money. But do you know that within clicks, minutes, you can design a website for yourself, by yourself, within 5 minutes. This takes months to be done before. It takes weeks to be done before. You part with a lot of money. For content creators, videos that you can generate and edit take you weeks, within 3 minutes you can have your video. Just type what your video is all about, give the right prompt, and you have your video. So many things. In my next video, I'm going to be highlighting some of these tools that can make you money and can save you time. So I need questions on I need questions. Okay, so let me now be answering the questions one on one. Just give me a minute before I start to ask these questions. All right, just a minute. Okay, welcome back. The first question I want to ask: did PM to get certificates? This is a typo error. To boost their CV, but lack most needed artificial intelligence. Despite this, most companies drop artificial intelligence per se and pick the ones with project management. I do not understand this question. I believe both are necessary. What can be done to make us realize this in our firms? Okay, so one thing that is very important is as a the survival of companies has so much to do with how knowledgeable the leadership is, how adaptable the leadership is that are piloting the affairs of a company. All right. Artificial intelligence has come to stay. It's either you embrace, learn, and adopt, or you get left behind. It is wisdom to leverage on what you can get from artificial intelligence to make your work more efficient. That is when when you want to make profit. The way to make profit is what? You reduce your costs, your expenses, so that your profit can increase. Some of these things is able to save us time, and we say what? Time is money. Time is what? Time is money. So if there's any company that is resistant to change, is left to them. But you, as a person, that is why wherever you find yourself, wherever you work, it's important you bring value. When you are known to bring value, you cannot just be brushed aside. When you are given an assignment and within the twinkling of an eye with the assistance of some of these tools, you are able to get it done faster. Just a function of time before they will call you and ask, how are you doing it? Then you are not in a position to now teach them. All right. Adeni Toyosi, I think the integration and adoption of AI into various fields, including project management, is only still an emerging phenomenon. AI will be central to almost everything by default in near future. I can't agree less. I read today Google is laying off, I think, is it Google or Apple? I can't remember, about 30,000 of their workers, because a lot of this job will be taken over by artificial intelligence. I want to tell you, it's coming. A lot of project managers' job will be taken over by artificial intelligence in the next 10 years. You need to get on board. You need to be skilled in this area so that you will not be left behind. Okay, the next question says, how does the AI help us to control our resources and effective delivery of projects? Okay, from economics, we learned that resources are scarce. They are never enough. You don't have enough money. Even the richest of this world, they do not have enough money. Resources are very scarce. All right? So, what you comes to play is what we call optimization. That is judicious use of your scarce resource. In Microsoft project, in Primavera, and some of these softwares online, there is a module for resource allocation, resource leveling, and stuff like that. You can listen to some of our videos on Microsoft project where we talked about resource allocation precisely. You understand? We do these things manually. Even in Microsoft project is done manually. But some of the tools, out of the 10 tools that I talked about, they are able to optimize for you. When you allocate your resource, when you input your resource into the system, and for some of us here that are in the construction industry and you are wondering how will AI help me to optimize my resource, but it can help you to optimize your equipment usage. You know, equipment, for instance, uses a lot of diesel. All right, based on the conditions of and the stage of each project. Okay, so based on the stage of each project, if all the projects that you are handling are inputted into the system, it can prioritize and allocate equipment more effectively. Of course, what we are talking about is, you know, intelligence that is artificial being assisted by system, right? Some of these things we do it manually. We are saying machines can help us take better and informed decisions, and they do this based on data. But they are now even reasoning. At times you ask ChatGPT questions and it will tell you that I don't do this, that I cannot recommend the best. We ask questions like that. They are reasoning. The system is reasoning and they are learning. So optimization is the watchword for resource allocation. Optimization of your resource, using your resources in the most efficient way. That is how to get it done. All right, like how many pages we AI analyze? 100 pages to quick digestion of the report. Okay, that is based on even how many pages. You just tell the system, I want you to analyze this 100 pages into 10 pages, into 5 pages. Give me a summary of this document, and it's going to do it for you. All you just need to do is to know how to ask the right questions. There is a skill. It's a skill. In fact, as an industry, it's a discipline on its own. They call it prompt engineering. Subsequently, I'm going to be teaching us prompt engineering. All right? asking the right questions to artificial intelligence systems. If you don't ask the right questions, they will not give you what you want. When you ask the right questions, they will give you what you want. All right? So, I do not have any other question again. Please, if you still want to ask your question, you can do so. And please, like I said, please ensure that you are subscribed. You are subscribed to this channel. All right? Ensure that you are subscribed to this channel. If you have not done that, please, I will implore us that let's subscribe so that we can have access to more video. Next week, I'm going to be analyzing about 7 tools that we can use that will save us money and will save us time. We can start from there. ChatGPT is not even on that list. It's a different version of ChatGPT that is on that list. We have a lot of them. So my work, what I'm doing this year is to be analyzing some of these tools, and I'm going to be doing the job for you. Don't worry. I'll be analyzing them, and you have access to some of these tools from time to time. Okay, so in the absence of any other question, here is about 20 minutes to 9. We're going to call it a day. The conversation can continue. If you have any question, still ask me. I will always answer your questions. Let the conversation continue on this chat. You can ask any question. I will definitely respond and answer to your questions. So this is Fatile Ayodele. I'm closing from here. Goodbye for now. Just make sure you are connected. You are linked to this channel for more videos. If you also want to learn about Microsoft projects, Primavera, and project management basics, just check some of the videos there. You can get to learn from them. That will be all from my hand. Till we meet again. Bye for now.